Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Avery, and today I'm going to be sharing with you all of the ebooks that I downloaded this month. Again, just like my last couple of videos that I've made about my ebooks, I know that not a lot of people enjoy ebooks, and it's not really their thing, and it wasn't really mine either until I got to college and realized that I have no money to spend on books. So what I do is I go on Amazon and I scroll through the free book section and just click download there, done, for anything that sparks my interest at all. So I'm going to be reading the synopsises for you guys today because I don't really remember any of the summaries about the books, so that's what I'm going to be doing for y'all today. The first book that I downloaded in May was The Proposition by Katie Ashley. I actually have already read this book and I talked about it in my May wrap-up, so if you want to know my thoughts on it, go ahead and check out that video. I will link it down below. This book is still currently free on Amazon and is 314 pages. With her 30th birthday looming, Emma Harrison finds her biological clock clanging and the elusive knight in shining armor yet to appear. She's running out of options, especially after her gay best friend backs out of being her sperm donor. Of course, there's always a sperm bank, but Emma fears a donor mix-up might impregnate her with the spawn of Satan. Resident company womanizer Aiden Fitzgerald is used to always getting what he wants, especially in the bedroom. When Emma spurns his advances at the company Christmas party, he's determined to have her no matter what it takes. After Aiden learns of Emma's predicament, he is quick to offer a proposition that will benefit them both. He will father Emma's child, but she must conceive it with him naturally. Not one for hookups or casual sex, Emma is reluctant to take him up on his offer, but his charm, coupled with his intense desire for motherhood, wins out. Soon, their baby-making sessions become more than just physical. Aiden can't seem to walk away from her while Emma begins to wonder if Aiden could be the one. But can Aiden leave his past behind to become the man Emma needs him to be? So this book sounds really interesting. I really like the summary, but if you want to know my thoughts on it, yeah, go check out my May wrap-up. The second book that I downloaded in May was Kritas by Carmen de Sousa. This is the first book in a series. It is still currently free on Amazon and is 402 pages. Derek is one of the Kritas, created beings who have lived on the earth for more than 4,000 years. Many questions surround the origin of these sentient beings who are stronger than humans, eat differently, and live longer. But they were created just as we were, maybe even before us. It is from them we obtain our fairy tales and our nightmares. They are the reason we believe in superheroes and monsters, because they exist. In the past, they kept the human race safe from an anonymous distance. But now Derek must come out of the darkness to save a woman he has no business loving, even if doing so may threaten his entire race. The Kritas series is not your normal paranormal series. It's a realistic romance mystery based on the myths you've heard your entire life. Prepare to believe. Okay, so this looks like a paranormal romance, and it looks really good and really interesting because I wonder how they're gonna like incorporate them with our fairy tales that we know, because that would be really cool because I love fairy tales so much. The next book that I downloaded on Amazon was Coven by Rebecca Main, and unfortunately this book is not free anymore. It is $3.99 on Kindle. This book is the first in a series and is 264 pages. Zoelle Baudelaire couldn't have predicted one late night run in the woods would change the course of her life forever. Now thrust into the world of the paranormal, she must navigate a world she'd only ever read about in fairy tales, all the while learning how to control her newfound magical powers, the soul mark etched upon her skin, and the volatile alpha who bores its match. Xander, alpha of the Adolphus pack, will do anything to protect his pack. But when Zoelle enters into his life under unusual circumstances, he knows only one thing: he must have her, no matter the cost. Too bad Zoelle has other ideas. Trapped in a carnal game of cat and mouse, Zoelle must tread unfamiliar ground. Steeped in supernatural politics that could cost her her life, can Zoelle outrun a wolf bound and determined to mark her as his, or will this new world swallow her whole? Ooh, so this is, I believe, like a werewolf, maybe shapeshifter book, and it says there's also like witches and vampires in it, I guess. I wonder what like creature Zoelle is. Maybe she's also a wolf and doesn't know it? I'm not sure. The next book that I downloaded was Her Rebel to Kiss by Deborah Salonen. This book is still currently free 3 and is the third in a series. Maybe it's like a companion series, and it is 248 pages. Justin Oberman's credo for living his adventurous, some might say death-defying life to the max served him well until the unfortunate outcome of a climb made him walk away from the sport he loved. A lucrative new job offer could pave the way for a new traditional life in Marietta, Montana, where his two best friends have fallen in love with the woman of their dreams. But settling down always seemed more daunting than Everest and not worth considering until a mysterious lady in red walks into his life on New Year's Eve. Suddenly, that happily ever after stuff Flynn and Tucker have been raving about looks within reach. The first fall is always the hardest. Nikki Magnuson Richards has loved Justin Oberman most of her life. First, from the safety of her brother's old treehouse. Later, with unrequited teenage angst. Her poorly thought out attempt to get him to notice her cost them both dearly. Now, a dozen years later, her fairy godfather, Boss, has orchestrated the most romantic possible meeting. The Big Sky Mavericks masked ball for charity. A kiss at midnight with their very own Prince Charming isn't too much to ask, is it? But what are two star-crossed lovers supposed to do when one kiss isn't enough? Okay, so this is a romance book. I don't know if it would be better to read the first two books first. First two books are not free, only the third one is. Normally the first book is free in a series, but I guess not. I guess now it's the third book. I don't know if you need to read the first two books. I mean, if I were to read it, I'm not going to, because this is already a free book, and I'm pretty sure it's like a companion thing where it doesn't really matter if you read the series beforehand, but anyway, yeah, it looks good. The next book that I downloaded was Bitten by Noelle Marie. This is still currently free on Amazon, is the first in a series, and is 310 pages. Bastian has to have been the most handsome man that Catherine had ever met. It really was unfortunate that he was also the most stubborn, controlling, downright infuriating jackass she'd ever known as well. Oh, and there was the fact that he was a werewolf. A werewolf who has bitten her. 16-year-old Catherine Mays has never believed in mythological creatures like werewolves or mermaids. Certainly not those sparkly vampires that her friend Abby was obsessed with. Even when she's bitten by a massive animal after a reckless night of teenage adventure and her body begins to change in mystifying ways, she can't force herself to believe in what she's convinced is impossible. Little does she realize that she's been infected with a disease a little more permanent than the rabies she feels fortunate to not have contracted, lycanthropy. Her fierce denial is soundly shattered, however, when she is simultaneously saved and kidnapped by Bastian and his pack. Forced to leave small-town Iowa behind and adjust to the way of life in a hidden society, Catherine must also deal with fighting the pull she feels towards the man, or wolf rather, who has bitten her and disrupted her life so completely. There you go, another werewolf shapeshifter book. You could say it's kind of like my thing that I look for now. Well, I think any paranormal romance book, like, I will automatically buy if it's free. If it's free, like, give it to me. I love my paranormal romance. The next book that I downloaded in May was Spark by Michelle M. Pillow. I actually have already read this book, and it will be in my May wrap-up if you want to know my personal thoughts on it, and again, that will be linked down below as well. This is the first in a series, is still free on Amazon, and is 172 pages. Mining ash on a remote planet where temperatures reach hellish degrees doesn't leave Kai, aka Spark, much room for dating. Luckily for this hardworking man, a new corporation called Galaxy Alien Mail Order Brides is ready to help him find the girl of his dreams. Does it really matter though that he lied on his application and really isn't looking for long term, but rather some fast action? Earth women better watch out. Things are about to heat up. So there was a short summary because it is a very short book, and yeah, if you want to know what I thought about it, go watch my May wrap-up. The next book that I downloaded in May was No Pants Required by Kim Carr. Unfortunately, this book is not free anymore. It is $3.99 on Kindle. This is 316 pages and is the first in a series. I, Michaela Alexander, am on a mission to reinvent myself. So when a super hot guy boards the plane and flashes his rock-hard abs, I pay attention. When he sits next to me and offers me his nuts, I can't resist. But when I choke on them and he tells me I need to work on my gag reflex, I realize I might be over my head. Before I know it, we're in the lavatory and attempting to join the Mile High Club. Let me just say this, anyone who tells you it's easy to get it on at 37,000 feet isn't telling you the truth. After the flight attendant busts us for getting frisky in the air, the only thing that can ease my total and complete mortification is the simple fact that I'm never going to see him again. Hours later, I can't help but wonder if fate will ever allow me to become a new version of myself. Because fate she's a fickle bitch. Case in point, my seatmate is my new next door neighbor. This looks funny, and I haven't read a good like funny romance book in a while, so hopefully I can get to that one soon. The next book that I downloaded in May was Never Close Enough by Annie Michaels. This is the first in a series, is still free on Amazon, and is 268 pages. The last thing Ella St. Clair needed on her birthday was a cheating boyfriend, a broken heart, and a dead car battery in a remote beach town. At her greatest moment of need, a protective and sexy Porter Masters comes to her rescue. Ella takes a holiday week at the coast to discover herself and finds her attention to Porter potent and undeniable. Uncertain of their future together, Ella struggles to open her heart to trust again. Porter Masters takes care of his own, his single mother, his company, and now he's compelled to protect the beauty that walked into his world. Never one for relationships in his past, Porter discovers that he was waiting all along for Ella. As their time together comes to an end, will Porter fight for the woman who stole his heart. Porter will find a way to keep her, despite the obstacles. It also says this book is the first in a 3-book series, and I'm pretty sure that the first 3 books are about this couple. So it just doesn't end with this couple in the first book, it continues in the next couple books. So I guess when I'm into reading a series, I will pick up this one. The next book that I downloaded in May was Loki by Kiara Montclair. This book is still currently free on Amazon, is the first in a series, and is 208 pages. Loki Grant's first memories are living in a crate behind an inn in Ayr, struggling to survive. Clan Grant saved him from his lonely existence and took him in as one of their own. But though the Highlands have become his home and he loves his adopted parents, Brody and Celestina, Loki feels lost. Part of him is still that scrappy wee lad who relied on his wits to survive in the streets, and he is not sure he belongs. The feistiest and most beautiful lass in the clan, Arabella, steals his heart, but when her father resists the match because Loki is not of clan blood, Loki decides to confront his past. He wishes to satisfy Bella's father by discovering his parentage, but he also hopes his quest will help him to understand his purpose. As far as Arabella is concerned, Loki Grant is the williest, brawlest, and most handsome warrior in existence. She is determined to have him as her husband regardless of what her father thinks. So when Loki's search for his sire leads him into trouble, she rushes headlong after him. Together, Loki and Arabella must discover the dark secrets of Loki's origins, for only by controlling the past can they hope for a brighter future. This looks good, like a historical romance book, I'm pretty sure. Historical romance? Yeah, there's like a man in a kilt on the front, so. And I haven't read a good historical romance book in a good while right now, so hopefully this one will fit the bill for that. The next book that I downloaded in May was Moonstone Beach by Linda Seed. This book is still currently free on Amazon, is the first in a series, and is 287 pages. Kate Bennett owns a small bookstore in the breathtaking Central Coast town of Cambria, California. 2 years out of her divorce that left her emotionally fragile, she's starting to think that maybe she's ready to love again, or at least for a fling with a hot man. Jackson Graham is a local chef who's controlling when it comes to food, careless when it comes to love, and temperamental when it comes to just about everything. When Kate's friends set things up between Kate and Jackson, she expects some casual pleasure followed by a hasty goodbye, but Jackson's long-term crush on Kate means that he's in this one to win. The problem is neither he nor Kate knows whether he can change the self-defeating habits that usually send women scurrying for the door. Another cute contemporary romance book. Cute! The next book that I downloaded in May was Getting Out of Hand by Erin Nichols. This book is still currently free, is the first in a series, and is 296 pages. Genius scientist Mason Riley can cure world hunger, impress the media, and piss off the Vice President of the United States all before breakfast, but he's not sure he can get through his high school class reunion. Then he meets the new girl in town. Adrian Scott loves Sapphire Falls. This sleepy little town has been the perfect place to escape her fast-paced, high-stress lifestyle. Her only plans now include opening her candy shop and living a quiet, drama-free life, until Mason Riley bids $400 just to dance with her. Mason sure doesn't look or kiss like a genius scientist geek. In fact, he makes Adrian's heart pound like nothing she's ever experienced. Passion like this with a guy who travels the world and parties at the White House should probably be a red flag for a girl who wants a simple, boring life. Good thing no one falls in love in a weekend. Cute! Another contemporary romance book. I don't know what to say after I read summaries. Sorry. The next book that I downloaded in May was Taken by Love by Melissa Foster. This is the first in a series, is still currently free on Amazon, and is 300 pages. Daisy Honey fled Trusty, Colorado after years of battling rumors sparked by her gorgeous looks and lust-inducing name. Now a physician on the brink of a promising career, she reluctantly returns home when her father is injured in a farming accident. Daisy expects these small-town girls who hurt her in the past would take cheap shots again, but she's completely unprepared for a run-in with tall, dark, and wickedly sexy Luke Braden, the only man who has ever stood up for her, and the man she's never forgotten. Luke Braden is handsome, wealthy, and the best damn gypsy horse breeder in the Midwest. After a restless youth, he's finally ready to settle down. Only connecting with women is nothing like connecting with horses, and he's never met a woman worth the energy. After an arrest in a neighboring town, Luke's past comes back to haunt him, and he realizes that his inability to find love runs deeper than he ever imagined. A chance encounter sweeps Luke and Daisy into a world of passion. For the first time ever, Luke feels a connection, but Daisy's life in Trusty is anything but permanent, and Luke can't manage a future until he puts his past to rest. This is like a companion series, I bet, so it talks about the other books that are part of the series on here too, and yeah, it looks really cute. A romance contemporary book. And the last book that I downloaded in May was Waiting to Breathe by Allison Reynolds. This is still currently free on Amazon, is the first in a series, and is 326 pages. Olivia Crawford has been through the ringer. All she wants is to start over without any complications or anyone figuring out her secrets. When her twin brother Finn convinces her to move back home and finish her degree at his school, it's just the push she needs to start over. Nathaniel Ford is the golden boy of SCU. He seems like he has it all. Perfect family, awesome friends and fraternity brothers, and a few buildings on campus with his last name on them. But things aren't always what they seem. From the first time Nate and Olivia bump into each other, literally, he wants more of her feisty attitude. But Olivia throws more walls up with each step he takes closer, and he isn't sure he can break them down fast enough. I don't know, it just sounds like a romance book. Again, contemporary romance book. There's just so many of them. I'm not gonna get to them all, So there you have it. Those are all of the ebooks that I downloaded in the month of May. Let me know down below if you have downloaded any of these books or if you plan to, as I would love to know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all soon with a new video. Bye.